and welcome to another episode of Horror Movie Night. This week we're going to get a little seasonal and talk about Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. Adam's being strangled to death by a little Santa ball, Scott's being attacked by Larry the Larva, and I am just ripping my face off and putting on my father's face instead, because this movie is batshit crazy. Let's talk about Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker.
Not bad. I'm actually impressed that you... You know, what's funny is if you write your own, you don't stutter as much.
Yeah, who would have thought? I didn't write anything, though. I just randomly decided to wing that one, so we'll see how that goes.
No, that was well done. This wasn't another Carol Ann debacle or anything.
You know what? So right before we hit record, Adam revealed to us that he has no notes for this movie, which is absolutely fine, because I have almost a full page of plot description for this movie.
God. I have no fucking anything for this movie. This movie is such a mystery to me. Like, it's so strange.
Why are you so confused by this movie? Like, we've watched way weirder shit.
We have, but this is like if you programmed a bunch of robots to make the most confusing movie possible. And
they did. That's literally part of the movie.
Yeah, that's
all right. So I'm just going to start rocking through this description. The movie starts off with this Santa Claus ball killing this little kid's father, but like sort of. Like, because the ball...
After he has discovered his mom having sex.
Yes. But, like, the ball, like, wraps its arms around the father or whatever, and it makes a scary face, but I don't think it's really doing any damage to the guy. Like, it's not until he starts flailing around and then falls onto something sharp that he actually dies. Like, I'm pretty sure if he just stood there, the ball wouldn't have done anything to him.
Well, no, it was like... If you were in the same position, you probably would...
Oh, you'd panic.
You'd panic and then fall on, a fire poker.
Scott just described my exact sentiments for this movie, because words start coming out of my mouth and I want to have an opinion on it, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
We jumped to 2 weeks after this death, and the little boy Derek has not spoken since. Him and his mother, Sarah, are about to go meet the old toy maker, Joe, and his bizarre son, Pino. And Pino, they're both trying to sell him a bunch of toys, but Pino is really insistent that he buys this Larry the Larva toy. And at this point, I have to make a confession that the character Joe, in what will be revealed later, his last name is Pedo. And I've watched this movie 4 or 5 times. This was the first time that I got it. This was the first time.
No, that's a lie.
No.
You knew that
he did. He typed me up and messaged me before we started recording this, and he was like, "Guys," he was like, "Adam, I didn't get that joke."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. This movie is actually called, the original title before they changed it to Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 was going to be Puppet Master 5. The Toy Maker, and it was actually going to be called, after that they thought that would be too similar, so they decided to call it Puppet Master 5, The Pedo Years. And then they thought that probably wasn't going to work out, and so they decided on Silent Night, Deadly Night 5.
There's a scene also early on which just made me happy. I don't know why it made me happy, but when it first introduces Derek, he's watching the Rambo cartoon series, and that, fucking blew my mind that movie. I was like, oh shit, that's right, Rambo had a cartoon series. It was very exciting when I saw that on television. Anyway, so they leave Joe Petto's store, and almost instantly upon them exiting the store, enters Noah, a drifter, and he just starts buying a bunch of toys, including that Larry the Larva toy. And then he somehow uses that as a bargaining way to get out of his rent, which is impressive. Because that toy is probably not very expensive. I don't think that toy is the equivalency of rent at all.
No, and it looks awful, too. It looks like a shitty sex toy or something. It just looks terrible.
So he gives the toy to his landlord for an extension on his rent. And the toy...
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the toy drills its way through the landlord's mouth and then out of its eye, and I distinctly remember this image from the back of the VHS. We also have a pretty amazing car POV shot throughout this whole scene that keeps coming up that I love. This is my favorite death in the movie. I love this fucking thing. It's so shitty. Spoiler alert, by the way, I love this movie. This is like my favorite Silent Night, Deadly Night movie.
That's also saying, like, this is my favorite time that I got food poisoning.
This is my favorite instance of dysentery. I actually kind of thought that kill was cool right up until the thing comes out of his eye and you get a close-up shot of its face and it has these fucking googly eyes on it that are looking in 3 different directions. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Come on.
No, that makes it even better. It's like the stupid gremlin, but in Larry the Larva form.
Its only point of the movie is to look stupid as fuck.
To look stupid as fuck?
So Noah starts searching around Pedo's house, and he finds a photo dating back to 1970, but Pino looks exactly the same. And it's very mysterious. And then Derek and Sarah go out of the house to go shopping, and Pino just breaks in, and like there's like shots of him just like kind of laying in bed, just kind of looking like he's not really doing anything. It's, you know, he's trespassing, but I mean, compared to like the breaking in sequence from 1 Hour Photo, this is fairly tame. Like he's literally just like chilling on the bed. But then they catch him and they confront Joe, which causes...
Oh man, the scene where he comes busting out of the closet to fucking... He's like, whoop, 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 and he's just like running away.
So Joe like drunkenly pushes Pino down the stairs and kills him. Maybe.
Yeah, but not.
but not. Which I guess at this point, because you mentioned it a little bit there, Adam, the actor who plays Pino is giving 110% throughout this whole movie. Like he is fucking killing it in this movie. So Noah turns out to be Sarah's ex and Derek's real father. And that's just kind of, I don't know. I think Adam explained it best where it's just like, she hates this guy, but then out of nowhere, she's just like, yep, let's fuck right here in the middle of this parking lot.
Well, we get
Let's
these
just
multiple...
say that's the least realistic part of this movie.
We get these multiple sex scenes, right? Like, we get the sex scene in the house where that fucking robotic hand is, like, fingering the guy's butthole.
And like, he's loving it. He's loving every second.
Oh, he's so into it. And then all the toys, like, it cuts back and you see that they're, like, surrounded by toys. But, of course, they're in the middle of sex. There's no way they'd notice. But it's also intercut with this, like, other scene where they're in the car and it's supposed to be, like, romantic, sort of. Like, it's really taking itself seriously there. And I'm like, this guy disguised himself as a mall Santa to get close to your son. And you're about to have sex with him? Like, what the fucking fuck is going on, man?
Well,
like,
and like it says, you know, they leave because Noah was too freaky as Santa for the kid, as if Clint Howard would have been less freaky as the Santa.
I almost forgot Clint Howard was in this.
I always forget Clint Howard is in movies.
Remember that time that they gave Clint Howard the Lifetime Achievement Award at the MTV Video Music Award or Video Movie Awards, and he didn't get that it was a joke, and they felt so bad that they had to turn it into a legitimate Lifetime Achievement Award from that point on?
Oh my God, I'm YouTubing that. Oh yeah.
Because like all the previous winners were like Chewbacca and like all this other stuff. And then they were like, you know who we should give it to? Clint Howard. And they didn't even list it as Clint Howard. It was to that guy. And they just showed like a series of clips of like when he's just got one scene in a movie. And he gave this really emotional speech about how like he's been doing all this work in Hollywood and he's finally being recognized for all the hard work that he's put in all these years. And then, like, after that, it was just, like, legitimate actors started winning the Lifetime Achievement Award. Like, they were like, uh-oh, we went too far with the meanness here.
Oh, Clint. Come on.
The voice of the little baby elephant in the first in the original Jungle Book, Clint Howard.
Whoa.
Wow, that blew my mind way more than any of the stupid shit that happens in this film.
I really do want you to try and explain the plot of this movie from this point moving forward.
Okay, so
it's so fucking weird.
So I'm not gonna lie. I may have had Wikipedia to help me out. This particular movie has way too helpful of a Wikipedia page. So Derek is kidnapped by Joe, and I'll put Joe in quotes here, who uses various evil toys to attack Derek's babysitter and her boyfriend. Sarah arrives at the toy store and finds Joe's dead body. The Joe that kidnapped Derek is actually a robot who is also Pino. Joe created the robotic Pino to replace his real dead son. He reveals that he wants Sarah to be his mother, which is why he's been exclusively trying to kill Derek. And then he begins to dry hump her while yelling, "I love you, mommy."
Oh, God. I always forget that happens. Like, it's awful.
This was like the boners from Zardos all over again. I was like looking at my dick, looking at the movie, looking at my dick, looking at the movie.
So then Sarah stabs him in the head with a screwdriver, and then she cuts him in half with an axe. And then she also crushes his head because overkill. And then Derek finally just speaks. Like, apparently that terrible traumatic experience. And Derek's just like, "Hey, whatever, mommy, it's just Christmas, right?" Or like whatever the fuck he says.
Well, one traumatic experience makes you a mute, but a second one cancels the other one out. And now you can talk again, right?
If they made a Silent Night, Deadly Night 6, you know that it would be it would just revert back to the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, where this experience has caused Derek to be a killer Santa Claus.
Yes. That's what's happened to everyone else in this stupid series.
Except for the fourth one that doesn't have anything to do with Christmas.
I haven't watched it. It's about witches, right?
It's about witches in Los Angeles in December. So it's Los Angeles in December. Like, there's no snow. There's nothing Christmassy. The plot doesn't depend on Christmas whatsoever. Like, there is no reason for it to be a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie in the least.
This might actually be the weirdest series of fucking movies. Like, this is so strange to me that, this is so fucking weird. Like, what?
Well, yeah,
I feel like
break it down, if you break it down movie by movie, right? Like, the first Silent Night, Deadly Night is like whatever. It's like a schlocky grindhouse slasher film. And it's fine. It's a little long. It's not like it's not well made by any stretch of the imagination. There's a couple good kills or whatever, but it's just whatever. Then its sequel is an hour-long recap of the
hour-long recap.
It's an hour-long recap of the hour and 20-minute original film, followed by like a really iconically terrible Garbage Day sequence.
Garbage Day.
But then the third one has like the kid from the second one with his brain exposed the whole time in like a jar around his head or whatever. And it's about like him being telekinetically linked to another person. And then the fourth one.
I don't think I've seen the third one.
Yeah. Then the fourth one's about witches.
Yeah, we need to watch that.
The fourth one's about witches, and then this one's about Mick Rooney, which we didn't even mention that Joe Petto is Mickey Rooney. But like,
I think we mentioned it at the very beginning.
Maybe. But and he hated the first movie.
I still love that you didn't get that joke. It was like if Mickey Rooney introduced himself and he was like, "Hi, I'm Joe, robotic child rapist." And he's like, "Oh, that's an interesting last name." What descent? Like, what country are you from? "Oh, that's Greek." Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, no, that's almost as bad as the brain damage. Not knowing, not catching the joke.
We'll never get to outlive.
And like maybe I did remember it from like, but I just remember when I was watching it just now, that was like a brand new experience for me, being like, wait, his name's Geppetto. And with the amount of times that I watched this movie, I feel like I should have remembered that better. But you have no notes, correct?
I don't have notes. You know what? Like right before, like while we were recording the last episode, I had this movie on in the background, right? Like this is the third fucking time that I've watched it because I'm trying to think of anything to say about it, and it's so surreal and weird that it does not lend itself to be talked about. Really, it's just it doesn't even have like number 2 has Garbage Day, right? Like I could talk about Garbage Day for fucking ever. That scene is hilarious. Every actor's choice in that scene is just beyond brilliant, right? But this is just too fucking much, man. Like they're taunting me. Like they're looking at me and being like, "Yeah, make fun of this. I fucking dare you. Like, what the shit am I supposed to say?
But I think that's why I like it the most out of the whole franchise, is because it's batshit crazy. It is the most Christmassy of all of the films. Like, it's the one that feels the most like a Christmas horror film. Like, it's fucking Christmas all over the goddamn place. But also, like, it's super weird. It's super ridiculous. But it's really aware that it's weird and ridiculous, and it's just like, fuck you, this is what we are.
Everyone in the movie is aware of what's going on, except Micky Rooney and the broad that played the mom. They're both like, the girl that played the mom is like, she can't act. And
Did you say the broad? Like, what is this?
He keeps calling her a broad. It's real weird.
It's like the 40s? Are you Micky Rooney?
That's the one I'm talking about. That's the broad, yeah. My name's Duke, and I'm here to fucking party. Let's have sex in that goop on the floor.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, no, that woman has no idea that she's even in a movie. And Micky Rooney is just like this lost puppy dog that's so desperate for work that he's down for whatever, right? Like, he doesn't care if he has to take his own face off and watch his sexless, genderless son fucking wander around as a weird puppet at the end of the movie. He doesn't care. He's just happy that somebody called him and gave him work.
He's like, who are you? He doesn't even know he's being filmed.
He thinks that he actually starred in a live-action Pinocchio movie.
Yes.
I'm playing Geppetto?
Get me my medicine.
Oh, poor dead Micky Rooney.
R.I.P. Micky Rooney. I the whole time I was watching this movie,
I feel bad. I'm just assuming he's dead. I feel like I need to check to make sure. Continue. Sorry.
The whole time that I was watching this, I kept calling him Ricky Mooney. I kept fucking his name up, which is a way better name, by the way. Ricky Mooney, beautiful. I honestly, I got nothing for this. Like, people need to watch it. Like, you should absolutely check it out on Christmas Day with your whole family. You should watch this movie, but I just don't know what there is that could be said about it, right? Like, it's beyond commentary. Like, it just cannot be talked about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
And just, good news. Well, not good news, but Mick Rooney is dead, so we weren't just.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Thank God! That's good. That's
damn.
So clear that up real quick.
Maybe you want to just edit that out. Hey, good news, guys! Micky Rooney's fucking dead.
Hey, he lived a good long life. He made it to the 90s.
Yeah, well, he did get to see your favorite time of existence.
I meant his age, but sure, yeah, that too. He did survive that glorious.
Okay.
He survived that glorious decade known as the 90s.
Oh my God!
All right, so do we want to talk about what we watched this week?
Do I?
All right, why don't you guys go ahead? I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to say mine for last.
Go ahead if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I watched a movie called Lost After Dark. Have you guys heard about this movie?
No.
Oh,
Okay, Lost After Dark.
I know After Dark, but not.
No, Lost After Dark. It's a movie from 2015, and it's like, I mean, it's supposed to be an homage to 80s slashers, like early 80s slashers. It's a bunch of high school kids that like skipped out on their high school dance so that they could go out and have like a weekend at the good girls cabin, family cabin, and that kind of shit. But it's just I enjoyed it. I appreciated the fact that it was it felt like an honest take on 80s slasher flicks instead of being super meta. Like, it knew what it was, but it wasn't, Final Girls is more meta, and it's way more like tongue-in-cheek, whereas this is more straightforward. It's just trying to hit the same aesthetic as 80s, like the original round of slasher flicks, and that was refreshing to me, because I don't think nothing comes to the top of mind from recent memory that I've seen that is like an honest take on that like subset of our favorite genre. So I don't know. I mean, it's worth a watch. I'd like to get your guys' input on it sometime.
Okay. How about you, Adam?
Ash versus Evil Dead has just been getting better and better as it goes along. It is honestly, it blows my mind every week how good this fucking show is. Like, it just keeps getting better. I'm Matt. Have you caught up on it yet? Or?
No, I have this friend that wants to watch it with me, and then they just keep getting fucking busy. So I might just say fuck it and watch it myself at this point.
Yeah, you should just catch up on it. And I mean, it feels like such a quick watch because you're really enjoying it while it's going on, right? So it just blows past. It does things that you don't expect it to do. It just keeps getting better and fucking better. And Lucy Lawless is fucking hilarious in it. Obviously,
Lucy
Bruce
Lawless
Campbell
is in
fucking
it?
hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man,
I need
it's
to
so
watch this
fucking
so
good.
bad. I really need to watch it.
Oh, it's really good. And it ties back in so many things from like the original Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 that you wouldn't actually really expect it to tie back in. And like, oh, it's so fucking good. I think that's really the only other thing I can think of that I watched this week. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so I've had a lot, like, between the two episodes, I have probably had more what we watched for this than normal, and that's because, quick story from work. So they're doing construction on the third floor of the office building that I work in, and I work on the fourth floor. So Wednesday night at 11, my boss called me because the guys doing construction cut through all of the wires to the entire building and completely shut down all of the phones and emails, which, when you basically work in a call center, is a big deal. So while they had the people fixing everything, we got to work from home on Thursday.
Nice.
And since I just do emails, that just meant fucking movie marathon while while doing the emails. So I watched a lot of shit. So I split that up amongst two episodes. I watched The Babadook for the first time, and I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. It's definitely better than It Follows by a long shot. I like the look of The Babadook. I like the few times that you see it, I like that it's this weird like paper cutout stop motion thing.
How did you enjoy that small child screaming for 90 minutes?
Well, I know your opinion of small children, so that's understandable. Yeah, I mean it's a small child screaming. That's a big chunk of the movie. What I like what the movie is, like I like the idea that it could, like, up until a certain point, it could just be this woman's manifestation of her hatred of her son. And man, is her son easy to hate. So that's like totally understandable.
By the way, you know my opinion of child actors. Thanks for making me watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 5.
Yeah, watching it like 6 times this week.
Hey, the kid doesn't talk, so it kind of is okay.
That almost makes it worse. He's so fucking... Oh my god, he's just mouth breathing, looking like an idiot the whole fucking... Anyway, sorry, Babadook, go ahead.
So my biggest issue, have all of us seen the Babadook or just Adam and I?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have no interest in watching it.
Okay. What I don't like about the Babadook is, like, the ending feels like it's fucking out of left goddamn field, where it's just like, I guess this was supposed to be a serious horror movie. Like, as far as I could tell, it was supposed to be a serious horror movie. But then, like, you get this ending, and this ending is like, I guess, like, the Babadook's their pet now? Like, I don't know.
For what fucking purpose would you want it in your house? Yeah. Like, she goes, like, the ending of the movie is, like, they finally, like, confront this, you know, specter or whatever the fuck. And then it cuts to them, like, a couple weeks later, and they're like, ha, 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 playing in the backyard and shit. And she's like, oh, I'll be right back. I have to go do the thing. And she takes a plate of food and puts it in the basement for this ghost to eat. Like, what the fucking shit, man? Why do you want that in your house? It's you
well, they
would
don't
go-
have the choice. That's the whole. It's like, wait, I thought the nursery sign said like you'll never get rid of the Babadook, and they were just like, well, I guess we got to just keep it as a pet then. Or like what the like? It's such like a. It feels like a wacky comedy ending to what was like otherwise supposed to be a serious horror movie. Like it's super fucking weird and surreal, and I don't know what to think of it. So that was my. That kind of bothered me. I watched Q the Winged Serpent. Have you ever seen Q the Winged Serpent?
Oh, I've wanted to watch that for a long time.
It is fun as fuck. Like that movie is absolutely ridiculous from start to finish, and I feel like both of you would like it, but I think Adam would really fucking like it.
How is Q spelled? Is it just the letter Q?
Just the letter Q.
Yeah, it's Quetzalcoatl. It's it's like this Mayan god monster thing.
It's claymation. It's a claymation monster. It's from like the late 80s, like mid to late 80s. But they just were like, hey, let's make a fucking claymation monster movie like we used to love.
Yeah.
And like it's about like a alcoholic piano player in New York who's the only one that knows where the monster lives. But like since he's such a shitty human being, he's like, look, I can tell you where this monster is that's killing New York, but not until you pay me some big buccarinos. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then, like, the mobs in the movie, it's just like someone was just throwing everything on a canvas and hoping to make a beautiful painting one day. And then the movie, and I texted you guys about this. So, Weird Ass Movie Night. We watched Feeders 2, Sleigh Bells. Have either one of you...
I don't even know what fucking Feeders is. This is right out of left field.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of this.
Okay, so Feeders...
Yeah, I don't want to know.
So Feeders, here's the story with Feeders. Feeders is an hour and 5-minute long movie that Blockbuster Video released. It shot on home video. And the only reason that it got a release was because it was like right when Blockbuster first started doing like, hey, we're going to produce our own films. And it was the summer of Independence Day. And these two dudes in like middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, shot this movie for like $200 on their camera with these like foam puppet aliens that were eating people. And they were like, "Yep, nope. We'll give it a badass cover. We'll cash in on it." It was it was available in every Blockbuster. And then they made a sequel that takes place at Christmastime. That is so insane. Like every second of it is insane. Every actor is worse than the actor that came on the screen before them. They claim that the budget of the movie was $25. Like, and it fucking shows these aliens. So the alien budget went down somehow. Now the alien budget is literally a stick with a styrofoam ball on it, spray painted black with a face drawn on it. And
No.
They attack Santa Claus at one point. Santa Claus exacts revenge by building a laser gun to fight the aliens. Like, it is so insane from every second. But, like, we had such a blast during that 40 minutes watching this movie that all I want to do is fucking screen this movie to an audience and then just lambast it with you guys. Like, we can't do an episode.
See, sometimes I think, like, yeah, I would totally come to Weird Ass Movie Night if I could. And then I realize it's bring your own food. And I'm like, no, I would not sit through any of this shit if I have to fucking feed myself.
It didn't used to be bring your own food. It's just when I got my new work schedule, I wasn't getting home until like 7. We used
you
to
can't
just
pick up some Popeye's chicken on the way home, Matt? Come on.
But, I'm just saying, I'm going to look into, I'm sincerely looking into how I can obtain the approval to do a screening of Feeders 2 Sleigh Bells. And I will fucking pay for your plane tickets to screen this movie in front of an audience and then just do a live episode. Maybe not next Christmas, but the Christmas after that, it needs to happen.
I can't watch this film. By the way, I'm watching the preview for it.
No.
Everything is terrible, and this is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even entertaining.
A lot like it's 1984's Things, right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
It sounds a lot like Things.
Dude, the guy's acting, the acting throughout I swear to God, the mother in this family that's being terrorized by these aliens does not ever speak above a monotone throughout the entire thing. Like, her kids are screaming, and she's just like, calm down, Daddy, we'll be okay. We just have to wait. Like, it's so insane. And then the flip side is, like, the main character's boss, who has, like, literally 15 seconds of screen time, is overacting like a goddamn champ, where he's like, I hate son of a bitch! I hate Christmas, you stupid son of a bitch! And then just, like, wanders off like he's supposed to be like Scrooge for a second. It's fucking... I don't know how this movie exists. These guys have made, like, 80-something movies in their goddamn backyard and have, like, a career now. They have a film called Peter Rottentail that I kind of want to check out. Yeah, so, you know, I'm just saying, think about it. We could do great things with feeders too.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
So that was Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5, The Toy Maker, starring Micky Rooney, or Rick Mooney, as
Ricky Mooney.
Ricky Mooney. So send us some emails. Let us know what cool shit you got for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever other holiday you may be celebrating. What's some of your favorite, like, holiday-themed horror films? Let us know. I'm not sure if we're going to do an episode next week because of the holiday. We might just take a break. Maybe we'll do a retroactive episode or something like that, and then we'll be back and kicking in 2016 for sure. We've got a great list of stuff lined up from suggestions that you guys have sent us, so keep sending us suggestions at hmnpodcast@gmail.com. Do you guys have anything else you want to add if this is potentially the last episode of 2015?
Don't watch Peter Rottentail, because I'm looking at just pictures. Oh, my God. No.
I haven't looked up anything but the name.
Happy holidays and New Year's Evil? No, that was bad. You should cut that out. New Year's Evil.
And just, you know, good news. Well, not good news, but Mick Rooney is dead.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.